Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me, Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 248, The Blob. My name is Joe.
My name is Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Hello, Joe.
The Blob.
The Blob.
Blob.
Nobody stops it.
Nope. And nothing moves it.
Oh, that's right.
This is my favorite X-Men movie that we've watched. For sure.
I apologize for getting the Blob's tagline wrong.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, Juggernaut is unstoppable.
Yeah. God damn it. Need to turn in my nerd card.
Is there a movie called Juggernaut?
Oh, I wish. Probably.
Yeah, we should watch that next.
All right. You search for IMDB and it'll be your next pick.
Excellent. Perfect. No, I'm going to pick Nightcrawler for next week. I just love that fuzzy blue elf.
He's great. He's one of my favorites.
He's one of my favorites too, legitimately.
Same, yeah. That movie though is uncomfortable.
Oh man, I love that movie, but
It's great.
You are right. It is extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, that movie and Birdman and Whiplash all exist in the same sort of headspace for me in movies that I find just very intense and almost hard to watch, but that I really love.
I have not seen Birdman. And I guess Whiplash is intense, but I definitely don't put it on par with Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it's a different kind of discomfort, I think, for Whiplash than Nightcrawler.
I mean, but they do both live in my head pretty frequently. So
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Interesting.
Partly is just the failed potential of a Miles Teller.
Oh yeah. You could just sort of tell that guy's a giant douchebag, though.
Yeah,
right?
kinda. Yeah.
Just from seeing him on screen.
Yeah.
I think that movie is the first place I ever saw Melissa Benoist.
Really?
Pre-Supergirl.
Oh, well, I definitely saw it after Supergirl, so... Because when I watched it, I said, hey, that's Supergirl.
That would do it.
Yeah.
The Blob.
Yes.
This is the 1958 version of The Blob.
Yes, it is. I had not seen it before this. But I was a big fan of the remake, the 1988 version, which came out shortly before my 10th birthday, and I saw it in the theater opening weekend.
That seems inappropriate.
Yeah, it's very inappropriate. That is not an appropriate movie for a 9-year-old, but maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you were 10, so...
I was 9. I was almost 10.
Oh, that's right. It was right before your birthday, so you didn't see it for your birthday.
Nope.
I don't think I had maybe seen this version, but if I have, I don't remember anything about it. Like, I feel like there was a time in college where I was just watching movies because I was a depressed guy who didn't leave his apartment.
Sure.
So yeah, I just watched a ton of movies all the time, and I think this might have been one of them, but I didn't remember anything about it. And I know I've definitely never seen the 1988 version. I've
I've never seen all of the 1958 version. I do, when I was watching it, did recall the very early scene where Steve McQueen is talking to the cop in his car.
Okay.
I must have caught that on TV or something not terribly long ago.
Gotcha.
But that is literally the only thing that I had seen from this movie before.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going to start out with... I'm just going to go ahead and nutshell my entire opinion of this movie.
Okay.
I don't think it's good, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. And if we gave out star systems for the movies that we reviewed, this would get an extra 1.5 stars just for the theme song.
The theme song is incredible. I did not expect the movie to have a very jaunty theme song.
I did not either. In fact, in my notes, I wrote jaunty theme song.
It's noteworthy. I wish it had recurred throughout the movie.
I do too. Not gonna lie, I watched this movie twice just so I could hear the theme song again.
That's, I mean, you could have just watched the beginning because that's the only time we hear it.
That's true.
You're just like, well, I'm here. I'll watch the rest of it.
I got time to kill. I'm a depressed guy who never leaves his house and watches
movies. There you go. Oh, that's probably 80% of podcasters. To be completely honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I started podcasting with you and Jason, it was pretty much just so I could hang out with you and Jason.
Yeah. I think it's a valid reason to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I figured you guys weren't going to hang out with me otherwise, so...
It's true. I do hate you with a passion.
Yeah. You hide it well.
Well, I'm in podcast mode right now.
Well, yeah, you're a professional.
It's acting, basically. Yeah, I don't know if it's good either, but I also really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Like, it I haven't seen a lot of old monster movies, but this is what I imagine they are like. Just sort of fun, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. That's really the best word I can describe it with.
Yeah. I mean, so I usually never take notes when we watch these things. But I did for this movie, and it's mostly just all snark.
Sure.
I mean,
there's plenty to snark on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like the fact that I don't think there was a script to this movie. There are just a lot of scenes of just conversations with that are almost too natural to be scripted. Just a lot of awkward pauses, and nobody's really sure what they should be saying.
Yeah.
Just like a real conversation.
Sure, just like this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah. I mean, the movie has fewer ums and ahs, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have that. Yeah. They really are professionals.
So to speak.
Right.
Yeah. You know, there's one named actor in the movie. Or at least one recognizable actor.
Yeah. I feel like there was another name in the credits that I recognized, but I don't know what from. I should have looked that up before we started recording, but I'm going to look it up right now.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, so Steve McQueen is the star. And I've literally only ever seen one other movie of his.
Oh, what's that?
Bullet.
I think that's the only other one that I've seen as well.
I know that Jason and I reviewed it on Gutter Trash when we did such things.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure we both agreed that it wasn't a great movie, but it had some really nice car chases.
That's pretty much what I walked away from it with as well.
Yeah. I do remember there being a scene where it was new technology at the time. Somebody received a fax, and it took like 20 minutes, and that was like the exact time of what faxes took back in the 60s.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, the main thing that I think of now when I think of Bullet, as with a lot of things, is Zodiac.
Oh, yeah.
Because Dave Toschi, the detective from who investigated that case, was, I guess, partly inspired Bullet.
Yeah, yep. Which is weird because he is the character in Zodiac played by Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not very similar.
Right. Yeah. It may have just been the way he wears his gun. The actor whose name I recognized or thought I recognized was Earl Rowe.
Okay.
It doesn't look like I've seen anything else that he was in, so maybe he just has one of those names. Or literally, maybe I was thinking of Karl Rove. Because they are similarly shaped names.
Well,
and
definitely,
I am an idiot.
Definitely the right amount of letters in each name.
Oh, boy. I thought Steve McQueen was good in this, though.
Okay.
As a 30-year-old teenager.
That is in my notes as he plays Steve Andrews, 37-year-old teenager. I believe he was just under 30.
Yeah, he was like 28.
Yeah. He looks a lot older than that.
Yeah.
But, he probably lived a hard life.
I don't know a lot about Steve McQueen.
I think he died fairly young of cancer, so
Okay.
I think he was a heavy smoker.
Gotcha.
And probably drank quite a bit. And looks like it.
I tell you, it confuses me that there is another Steve McQueen who is active in the film industry now. I remember when he started, getting bigger, I would see his name and get real confused.
Sure.
Like, wait a minute.
I mean, I watched Shame and was very, very conflicted about that.
Yeah.
Expecting one Steve McQueen and getting the other. And Michael Fassbender's giant cock.
I haven't seen Shame.
Oh, don't. It's not good.
Okay, good to know.
Unless you want to watch, 30, 40 minutes of Michael Fassbender jogging through New York.
I don't know, that sounds kind of relaxing.
Okay, well then your mileage may vary.
All right. Oh boy.
Yeah, all the quote unquote teenagers in this movie are all probably in their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, except for maybe is it Lisa? Is she the girl that's on a date with Steve?
No, that's Jane.
Jane, that's right.
Yeah, not Janie, baby. Just Jane.
No, that's not her name.
Nope.
Is there a Lisa? No, there's not a Lisa. I don't know where I got that.
Maybe one of the random bullies turned best friend had a girlfriend named Lisa.
Could be, though I don't think any of those female characters had names.
No, of course not. Why would they? They're just females.
I think only Jane and her mom were the women with speaking roles in this movie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, and Kate the nurse.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P.
She didn't last long, though, yeah.
She did not. She was hysterical. And paid the price for it.
Yep. So the scene where we're, speaking of Kate, the doctor tries to get her to throw acid on him.
Yeah.
On the blob. Was done from like a point of view shot that made me think that just for a second that this movie was a 3D movie.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But the rest of the movie wasn't. Usually they go out of their way to say, hey, 3D, huh?
That's true, yeah. There's no loving shots down the barrel of the doctor's rifle.
Nope.
Remember when he tried to shoot the Blob?
I do remember that.
What an idiot.
Oh, most of the people in this town are idiots.
Yeah.
Except for the teenagers, because teenagers are always right.
Is that the message of this movie?
I don't know. I guess, when your teenagers are over 40, sure.
All right. I can get behind it.
If you can't trust anyone over 40, who can you trust?
That's true. That's a very good point. And this movie was ahead of its time in 1958. Most people didn't start thinking that till the 60s.
Right? It was paving the way.
Well done.
So it's weird how this movie ran out of money towards the end, right?
Are you talking about how it just ends?
Not only just that, but the final attack of the Blob is it's an illustration.
Yeah.
And then when they set it on fire, the only way we know that is the fact that it's two people talking and saying that it is on fire.
Right. That's true. That didn't occur to me while I was watching the movie. I guess I while I was watching it, I was like, okay, so they're gonna get out of this sort of set piece, and then there'll be a bigger one where the Blob is destroyed. But nope.
No. That was the climax of the movie.
It was jarring, to say the least.
Yes, it was. The climax of the movie is a matte painting.
I enjoyed the electricity effect on it when they knocked the power line on it.
Sure.
Like it didn't look good, but I thought it had a little bit of charm.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel maybe charming is the word I would use for this movie.
I think that's a very good word to describe this movie. Because as stupid as it is at times, and I'm going to say it, it's poorly done.
Yeah.
It's not well acted. It's not well shot. The special effects are leave a lot to be desired. But it, it never overstays its welcome. It just kind of made me chuckle and smile throughout.
Yeah, it has a cute dog.
Sure. Who lives.
And nothing bad happens to it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was real concerned for the dog there.
They weren't going to kill a dog in 1958.
I don't know. Like, I almost, because it's sort of a throwaway, oh, we saw the dog running down the street. Like, there was a moment towards the end where I thought all of the people in the diner were going to die. Even the very small child. I didn't know how hard this movie was going to go.
That would have been bold.
It really would have.
I will say that, when they are trapped in the cellar of the diner, with the Blob enveloping them and the diner's on fire and it's starting to ooze into the cellar, and Jane tells Danny, the little boy, to just lay his head down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That is just, hey, just die and take it.
Yeah. I mean, the diner's on fire. They're all gonna asphyxiate pretty soon, probably.
Yeah.
Or be consumed by the Blob. Either way. It's not a good situation.
No.
Can we go back to the song for just a second?
Absolutely.
I noticed something on the IMDb page.
Are you gonna sing it?
I'm not gonna sing it. I don't know the lyrics. No, the song is just called The Blob.
Uh-huh.
It was co-written by Burt Bacharach.
Yes.
And it was performed by the Five Blobs.
I know all this, but the listener might not have. It was great.
I love it.
And if I remember correctly, I think the song was actually kind of a hit.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, like a minor hit, but yeah.
That's awesome. It deserves it. It's a great song.
It really is.
I'm going to buy it on iTunes when we're done here.
Excellent.
If it's available.
I'll pirate it somewhere. I actually liked the entire opening credit bit.
It was neat, yeah.
Just not really Saul Bass inspired or anything like that, but just the weird blobby shapes kind of being animated throughout, and then the jazzy, jaunty music, and I was into it.
Yeah.
And then when the lyrics started, I stopped everything and just yelled, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, because the lyrics don't start till
late,
like a minute in.
Yeah.
It was a really pleasant surprise. I really appreciated it.
Me as well.
And yeah, it just set like a fun tone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it really did. It kind of puts you at ease almost, and just lets you know, kind of exactly what you're going to get. Because it's not, scary per se.
Yeah.
And it's really not even like, okay, so, essentially telling a child to die is a little intense, but...
Yeah, that's kind of dark.
Yeah. But for the most part, and of course, like 2/3 of this movie is just, old teenagers running around trying to convince people of something that they just can't believe.
Sure. So why would you believe kids?
There's no reason to. I am not gonna...
Fucking cops.
Yeah, one of them's okay, right?
I guess.
Dave?
Yeah, he takes some convincing.
Yeah, but he's also just not an outright bastard like the other guy is. Birdie.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy has seen some shit, and he is holding it against everyone he meets. Like, they must know about my war record. They must know how many men I killed.
Like, why is that even a thing?
I don't know. It's weird. Like I could see that being like an improv character detail that he just adds. Like, yeah, you gotta, you're kind of grumpy. We don't really know why. If you think of anything, go ahead and throw it in. But yeah, like, oh well, clearly he was in the war.
Yeah. There's a scene with that guy where he just he takes a phone call, and I don't know, maybe it was a choice of everyone involved that just be like a natural sounding phone call where the other person on the other end is talking, but we never hear it.
Yeah.
And he just is silent the entire time. To only a response, to respond with rage afterwards. But just stuff like that makes me think like half of this movie had to be improv.
Yeah. Is that the one where he talks to Dave and Dave tells him that he sent the kids home?
No, I think it's a different scene.
Okay.
Where somebody mentions, or only just implying from his side of the conversation.
Sure.
That I think somebody is like calling to tell him that they're running around warning people of the impending doom.
Okay.
And he gets pissed and thinks that all the kids are in on it.
Now that you mention it, I think the call I'm thinking of is only seen from Dave's side, and we don't hear what he's saying on the other end, and Dave just gets annoyed at him. There are a lot of one-sided phone calls.
Yeah. I think the only two-sided one we hear is the guy playing chess with his friend.
I think you're right, yeah.
Because that was necessary.
It's good character building.
It really is, but again, is it necessary?
for the unnamed cop.
I think he did have a name. I think it was Rich.
Oh, okay. Sorry. He was such a key part of the movie. How did I forget his name?
Show some respect for Rich.
You know what? I really should. I apologize, Rich. Wherever you are. R.I.P. probably.
Yeah. There are a lot of... huh?
No, I was just going to say, at one point, Jenny came out while I was watching the movie, and they were Steve and the girl who, again, I keep wanting to call Lisa.
It's Jane.
Jane, thank you. Steve and Jane were, I think it was, they had just gotten to the grocery store and found the dog there waiting.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, look, there's a cute dog. And she, just without missing a beat, was like, oh, that dog's dead now. Just like, wow. I mean, she's not wrong.
It's true.
But man...
Oh boy, she's had a rough year.
She has a whole new view on mortality.
I mean, to be fair, I think almost everyone involved in this movie is dead now. So I
think you're right. Yeah, no, it occurred to me that both Steve and Jane were also dead. So I guess it wasn't that shocking.
No, yeah. I mean, it is a 62-year-old movie at this point now.
Yeah, I think I looked up the actor who played the little boy because I thought I recognized him. I thought he was the kid in a 2-part episode of Batman.
The Shame episode?
Yes, come back, Shame. But he was not. He would have been too old for that. But I looked up a picture of that kid, and man, he looked exactly like the kid in the Blob. But that guy is still alive. I saw. So at least one remaining cast member.
All right. Well, hopefully he became a better actor as he got older.
I don't think so.
Okay, because he was fucking terrible.
Yeah, actually, I think this might have been the only thing that he did.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why Jane wanted him to die. Well, that and the shame of hiding the fact that she was actually his mother.
Right, that's true.
Because she's fucking 40.
Right. There's no way that those old parents have a kid that young. It's a Jack Nicholson scenario where he thinks that she's his sister.
Yep. Yep.
I'm really proud of you for pulling the Shame, for knowing what I was talking about with that Shame 2-parter. Because that is a deep pull from Batman.
I know my Batman 66s.
I know you do. I know we watched it all together.
We did. I also remember it was just on TV once while I was house sitting for my parents.
Nice.
And it was very exciting. But also, it just clicked with me because this kid in this movie, he's running around wearing a fake gun and pretending to be a cowboy. So
that's true. That's a good connection.
I just associated it with that, so I figured you would too.
No, I something about that kid's mouth reminded me of the mouth on the kid in Batman. I don't know what it was.
Oh, this is a very dark place for you to go. Just thinking about children's mouths.
I don't sit around thinking about them.
Sure.
Let's move on. So I've never seen The Thing.
Okay.
But is this movie a prequel to The Thing? because I know a little bit about the thing,
Sure.
and I know it's about something that thaws, right?
Sorta. Yeah.
So yeah, are these related?
I mean, I see your way of thinking, and you know what? Let's make it canon.
Excellent.
But unfortunately, the creature in the thing is slightly different than the Blob.
Okay.
Although they are both essentially formless. I mean,
Yeah, all I know about the thing is the Kurt Russell scene, like where he's like talking in the radio, and the poster. So yeah, the thing could literally be anything in my mind.
well, that's the thing about the movie is it is literally anything.
What?
Yeah. It's a weird shape-shifting thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas the Blob is just a blob.
Yeah, but the Blob could take the form of whatever container it's in.
Sure. I mean, I guess, if we're thinking, 58 to mid-70s, mid to late 70s, it could have evolved.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the life cycle of this weird alien thing is.
That is very true.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. I'm
Okay.
sticking with that.
Let's make it happen then.
Excellent.
So speaking of that, so they figure out that the Blob can be stopped by freezing it. And then at the end they ship it off to the Arctic, which is where you're making your thing connection.
Right.
And then there's just a line where they're talking, and it's like it's not dead, it's just stopped, and as long as the Arctic stays frozen, it'll just live there forever.
Yeah.
And thought to myself, if this were made now, this could very easily be, or a sequel now, could very easily be, a commentary about global warming.
I honestly had that exact same thought. The ice caps are melting, the Blob gets free.
Right?
Do it up with some CG.
Sure. Although, you know what? As crappy as some of the effects look in this movie, they're all mostly practical, except for, the illustration.
Right.
And I think they're a lot better than probably anything else that would be put out today.
Yeah, you're probably right. There is definitely something to be said for practical effects, even on a small budget.
Yep. I mean, I was fairly impressed with how they got it to move, and at times they were able to make it appear, somewhat threatening.
Yeah. Did you happen to do any reading about how they did that? Because it was pretty cool.
They just said it was red silicone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was silicone, and then they added red to it the more that it ate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Blood.
The blood was dying at a different color.
Sure.
Yeah. Which is honestly a pretty nice logical step.
It is, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I guess when it comes out of its meteor, it's completely clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Good job, movie.
Yeah.
Stuff that you didn't really explain. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, speaking of explaining things. Never once in the movie does Steve explain anything about finding the old man, or taking him to the doctor, or the thing that was attached to the old man. Especially like when he first goes to the cops and he tells them that the doctor is dead.
Yeah.
Like, none of that gets mentioned, which I feel might have gone some way to help his case.
Yeah, it probably would have.
But he never does. But then eventually the cops do, mention the old man. And I was like, no, Steve never said that. Which again leads me to believe that there was no script to this movie.
Or that scene was cut.
It's possible.
Which, if you're going to start cutting stuff, I mean, come on.
Right? Yeah, I mean, chess playing guy could have been cut.
Right.
The old lady who house sits for the doctor, I guess.
Yeah, man, she comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, she does. Since we're talking about her, this is where I like to play, fun with subtitles.
Okay.
So when she comes in and she sees like the state of the doctor's office, she says, "Land sakes!" And the subtitles read inaudible.
Yeah, all right. That's fair.
And I mean, I'm pretty hard of hearing, but even I heard that. Come on.
Oh, that lady was terrible.
Yeah, oh yeah, she absolutely was.
Just, like, no, none of that happened. You weren't even there. This is your first scene in the movie.
Only scene in the movie.
Only scene.
I guess that is one extra female character that we have in the movie now.
That's true. All right, fair enough.
Although I don't think she was named, so...
Yeah, she might have been because didn't the doctor call her?
Yeah, okay.
He might have said her name at that point, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Either way, this movie fails the Bechdel test, so...
Well, pretty miserably. It also fails the "are there any people who are not white in this town" test.
Well, late 50s, Pennsylvania, probably.
Yeah.
Not. Yeah.
That's true. Oh. Yeah, Blob.
The Blob.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah,
I would consider watching it again.
Yeah, it's fun. I could definitely see this as just, oh, hey, this is on. Why not watch it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a Criterion movie.
Yeah, that surprised me. Also, I think our second Janus Films production.
Yeah, yep.
After The Seventh Seal. So, I always picture those two movies in the same category.
Well, sure. So I did, I went a little bit above and beyond.
Ooh, okay.
And I watched all the movies in the Blob oeuvre.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that there was a sequel?
No, I did not.
It is sometimes called Beware the Blob. It is sometimes called Son of the Blob.
Okay.
But it is the only feature film directed by I Dream of Jeannie and Dallas star Larry Hagman.
Wow. That's awesome.
It was made in like 1972. It essentially follows the same plots, but it does pick up where basically it's we start out following a guy who has just come home from working in the Arctic.
Okay.
And he found a sample of something that he was going to take to a lab, and he stuck it in his wife's freezer. Who was very upset that this thing was just in her freezer. It's in a container.
Sure, okay.
But she just leaves it out. And somehow like the cap of it comes off. And a fly lands on it, which causes it to come back to life.
Sure.
Then it eats a kitten.
Oh no!
We don't see, we just hear the sound of a kitten screeching.
That's still upsetting.
Sure, absolutely. And then it goes on its rampage where just large amounts of time pass where nothing actually happens. Then Larry Hagman has a short cameo in it where he gets eaten.
Okay.
As does Burgess Meredith.
Aww. Pengy.
Yeah. Because basically it was, while Larry Hagman made the movie, he just asked a bunch of his friends if they just wanted to get eaten by a blob.
That's awesome.
So, there's a few recognizable actors in it. And then they stop it at a ice skating rink.
Spectacular.
Yep. And then I rewatched the remake as well.
Nice.
Which still really holds up. And whereas Beware the Blob is definitely aiming more for the comedy aspect of the original, this one aims for the horror, and it is super fucking gory.
Yeah.
It is disturbingly gory. Just like it is basically the exact same plot, like right down to just little details. The only thing that it really adds is that apparently the Blob is a government weapon.
Oh, okay.
So there's also just dudes in hazmat suits running around too.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, but lots of people getting melted and their limbs torn off, and you just see corpses floating in goo, and it is fantastic.
That sounds like an 80s monster movie to me. Or like what I imagine an 80s monster movie to be like.
Yeah.
Like a David Cronenberg-esque kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty good description. It was co-written and produced, I believe, by Frank Darabont.
Okay.
So there's a little pedigree in there.
Nice.
And it's got Matt Dillon's brother as the main character.
Credited, of course, as Matt Dillon's brother.
Sure. And he sports a fantastic feathered mullet, so.
Nice. Really, what more could you want from a movie?
Not much. So I blobbed up for this.
That's awesome.
I should have read an X-Men comic so that I would have known the Blob's catchphrase, but
yeah, you've drawn a Blob comic, so I think that counts.
I have, and you wrote that comic.
Yeah.
And I still feel to this day that that should have gotten a lot more attention than it ever did.
It's an underappreciated gem, that's for sure.
I mean, I'm not proud of much of anything that I work on, but I was pretty proud of that.
You should be. It's pretty great.
Well, then most of the credit goes to you as well there, so.
Yeah. Comic doesn't exist without both the writer and the artist.
That is right.
I do not want to have this argument.
I didn't think we were.
Okay, good. I mean for the listener.
Okay.
Don't at me.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Fair.
Well, yeah. I really liked it.
All right. I did too.
Excellent.
But again, the caveat: it's not great.
Yeah.
It's also not so bad that it's great either. Like, it's just enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Anything bringing you joy this past week?
Well, I know you saw it. I got to make a comic for my day job.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was a lot of fun. I do like a quarterly newsletter for the team that I'm on, and it's all about process improvements and what we've done and what's coming, and part of it was that they wanted to try and encourage people to submit their ideas. Right. And they decided that I should make a comic to get people to do that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think they wanted to make it more fun. They wanted to make the newsletter more fun, too.
Well, sure.
So,
I don't know much about your job, but it seems like it's probably pretty dry most of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I did enjoy seeing Process Pup.
I enjoyed your fan art of Process Pup very much.
Thank you.
I hadn't even considered the color scheme for his costume, so thank you for doing that.
It's essentially Superman, but
it is, yeah.
And I wanted to surprise you with it, so because while I was drawing it, I was like, well, what would his colors be? And then also, what's the thing on his chest supposed to be?
So Process Pup's name was originally Idea Dog.
Okay.
So
I see it now.
The emblem is like a stylized eye thing.
Yep. Okay.
And I hated the name Idea Dog, but I liked the emblem that I came up with for it. So he's still just got an eye on his chest.
Okay. Now that I know that, I can definitely see it. And you're right. Idea Dog is a terrible name. Process Pup is much superior.
Yeah. I gotta give credit to Jenny for encouraging me to change his name. It was the right call for sure.
Absolutely. She's all right sometimes.
She has good ideas.
Yeah. I mean, she may be going around telling people that dogs from 60-year-old movies are dead, but, she has a bright spot every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, she's not perfect. Please, God, I hope she can't hear me. What's making you happy this week, Eric? Other than my impending divorce.
I mean, that's pretty joyous, but I've been trying to read at least a comic a day for the last month or so. That I hope I will be able to keep up throughout the year. And recently I decided to reread and catch up on a book called Copra by Michelle Fifa.
Nice.
And I am now at the points where it's in stuff I have not read yet. And that is a glorious comic.
That's awesome.
And while the next phrase that I'm going to say here may make it not sound like it's joyous, trust me that it is. But it is a comic that makes me just want to give up and die.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, good.
Like, it's so good.
Yep.
You just there's nothing better, so why even bother?
Right, yeah. I look at it.
Totally get that.
And I not only is it so good, but I also have no idea how he even approaches doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's knowing that he has tapped into some sort of weird genius that he was born with, and I will never be able to achieve that. And while it is a great thing to read and experience, there's just that little part of me that knows I'll never be able to get this, and why bother?
I think in moments like that, don't try to make that. Try to make your own genius thing.
No, but I can't.
Or just make a fun thing.
I mean, I'm making stuff, but,
Good.
It will never be as good as Cobra is.
Well, I mean, the bar is high.
Yeah. But I also would highly recommend Cobra to anyone. If you've ever had a love for superhero comics and just want them with just a dash of weird, it is fantastic.
That's awesome. I've actually never read any of that, but it's been I've had a few people tell me that I need to read it. So yeah, it's been on my list for a while.
I would I'll add my voice to that. I think, as someone who enjoys some old school DC, I think you would also really get a kick out of it too. So,
all right,
just because there are so many analogs to old DC stuff in it. So
nice,
yeah.
All right,
I'm not gonna lie, it's basically the Suicide Squad.
I feel like I've seen art from it and thought one of the characters looked like Deadshot, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yep, that's I can't remember. I don't think he has a code name, but his real name is Lloyd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lloyd Flaughton.
No.
Aw. Missed opportunity, Michelle.
Yeah, but there are some characters who, he barely changes the name. There's a guy named Harkness who is essentially Captain Boomerang.
Nice.
And then there's Francis Castillo, who is...
Oh, the Punisher.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Well, I suppose this is the time where you should pick a movie.
I suppose it is. Let me look at my list.
Okie doke.
Oh yeah, no, I remember what I was going to pick. So there is a newer movie on Amazon Prime. I figured we've watched a few older movies in a row. I'd try and find something a little newer.
All right.
And I want to say this came out probably within the past couple months, so I don't know if you've seen it or not. But it's called Sound of Metal.
I have not.
You have not. All
No.
right. Yeah, it's Riz Ahmed.
Sure.
Is like a metal drummer, and he starts to lose his hearing, I believe, is the basic plot of that movie. So
I believe you're right, and I was interested in watching that. So yeah,
yeah, I thought it looked really good, and I like Riz Ahmed, so let's
do
watch
I.
that.
And I like metal, so
Yeah, I like metal as well.
oh, okay.
Probably not as much as you do, but I do enjoy it.
Well, that's it's all good. Yeah,
Excellent.
we can't all like Ben Folds,
But you should.
but I don't.
No, that's fair. I get it.
I've never heard an actual Ben Folds song, so
I'm sure you have.
I guess.
And you just don't know it.
I guess, yeah. But the only thing that I know that I've listened to in which he was involved is the William Shatner album that he produced.
Yeah, which is great.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love that thing. All right. Sound of Metal. We'll watch that for next week then.
Excellent. We'll talk to you then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.